at the structure of the tabernacle of Moses, which in it there is a sense of sort of being able to come into the Holy of Holiness in a way without many obstacles, sort of creating an arena in oneself in which one can move smoothly into the peak of the meeting point in between the cherubs. Okay? In between the cherubs, meaning this is a vehicle, this is a vehicle or that the higher can mount on or can sit on. So it means that the cherubs are sort of the seat of revelation. But it is it's composed of two cherubs, of two vehicles, of a sensation. The sensation that we have is a power of bestowal and a power of reception, female and male. And their meeting point is creating a new space in between. Okay. So all this is sort of the structure of, or one can say, an inner structure of uplifting. Okay. Of being able, which is the name, one can say, of the offering uplift. What can offer an uplift is the power that is given to us from the higher, but it's a full-fledged response. And now it starts with sort of restrictions. Now it's opening a new portion which is called Tezaveh. Okay. And we read it. Okay. It starts with you call it Exodus, or the book of name 20, yeah. It's 27, chapter 27, verse 20. Actually starts a new portion. You have to know that the division of chapters is Christian. The name of the portions is coming from Chazal, is actually through tradition, through the Jewish tradition of reading Torah. So we have a quite mixture, because you see, we have the same verses, but you don't have the true name of the portion. And this portion that starts at verse 20 is called Tezaveh. It's a new portion, because it does not speak of how the structure of Moses lives inside, or dwells, or moves through the tabernacle, moves through Mishkan. It's how the structure of Aaron and his sons, how they will move, and then Israel, of course, how they will be able to move through this approach or intimacy with the presence of the higher. So it starts with, and thou shalt command the children of Israel that they will bring thee pure oil, or pure olive oil, beaten. This is how you actually can extract wisdom. Oil, in Kabbalistic terms, is always to do with that which can ignite to enlight. It's this way of how actually this light is being produced. It's being produced from a parallel that was drawn between the olive, how you extract olive oil, you crush, you beat the olive, and then it means you change its structure, and you actually crush it in order to enable it to produce out of itself that which can be used for light. So it was a parallel to Israel. Israel were sort of, or the olive was a metaphor for Israel, meaning that in order to sort of extract wisdom out of them, you have to beat them. So this is one can smile, but how actually can you extract this wisdom out of yourself is actually change of structure. And it seems that we cannot go straight with the oil, with wisdom. We have to bring it to Moses in ourselves. So already in the beginning, there is two structures that need to be overlaid. The structure of Moses, which is a structure of no limits. And the structure that Moses will bestow upon other spirits is a structure of limits that will allow them gradually to come closer to him. So we can see that actually this is beginning of this portion, that they will bring this thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring the pure oil, olive beaten, for the light, to cause the lamp, the golden lamp, to burn always. So there is a duality in here, that if the children, meaning the produce of the structure of spirit that is called Israel, if they will bring through Moses their wisdom, it's the only way that light will be eternal. It says here always, but in the origin it says tamid, which means eternal. So in a way, eternity cannot happen, even not to the part of Moses, without Israel bringing something to him or coming closer to the higher through Moses. But they bring with themselves, in themselves, with the willingness to purify themselves, to change the structure, they are bringing the true fuel of eternity. A true fuel that can illuminate or enlight the light for all spirits for eternity. Okay, so this is the first sort of relation that we meet between the uplifting, one can say the uplifting sense of the tabernacle of Moses, the offering, the movement towards the higher, and then thou shalt commandment is coming from higher to lower. So we have those two movements from, the uplifting of the lower is also almost natural. And the commandment that is coming from high to low that need to be received. And those two structures need to come. So you see, come together. So you see that already in the meeting point in the tabernacle, there is the right side and the left side. And they need to change their structure of or mode of operation. So it's already in here. Okay. So then we're going that you could see that what is added into the structure of Aaron tabernacle is three things that actually were not needed in, and when one can say, in the state or attitude or being of Moses. Just to let you know, if you don't know, that in Hebrew, actually the name Moses is a composition of name. He is name, the name. So if you turn around the letters of the word Moshe, it is the name. This is the book of names, and what is leading its revelation is a person that is called name, the name. Okay. So this is, it's, if we're speaking about a name being a vessel, being a vehicle upon which the higher can reveal itself or can be felt, its presence could be felt. So for the structure of that which includes all names, which is Moses, or Moshe, let's call him by its true name. Now we have to look at the origin. Moshe is not a name that was given by by the Hebrews. It was a name that was given by the Egyptian and given meaning by the Hebrews. Because when Batya is the daughter of Pharaoh, is actually drawing Moses, which is another explanation, drawing it from the water of the Nile, or as it was called, Yeor, meaning she was taking away or pulling him out from the light. And the meaning for it is being given by his mother because he was taken from the light. Okay? So therefore, it's the principle, or a Kabbalistic principle, or one can say the Jewish principle, is how to give meaning to everything that is, or to any tendency, or to any longing, to any spiritual longing, to give it meaning. And this is what Moshe is doing. So the structure of his name, the dwelling place, is a very smooth movement through that all that composed, and we spoke about it, the arena, the place, the space, and then there is a movement through the altar, okay, and then through the table and the lamp, and straight into this is the ark, yeah, the ark, and what and the seat there is above it, which is the cherub. So we have to see what actually is being added to to the structure, which not so spiritual, natural spiritual structures or consciousness can enter through. So there is, first is the altar of the incense, how it was composed, but the altar of the incense speaks about, and it stands actually, one can say, in front of the screen. So I'm going backwards, from the holy place backwards. So where, let's say, Moses just will have to pull aside the screen and enter, there is an additional obstacle in front of the screen. And this is the altar of the incense. The altar of the incense, it's meaning that you will ask yourself the question, you, the priest, who represent all spirits of Israel, have you tied yourself with one knot to the higher, with one intention? Because the incense is a knot or a tie of 11 ingredients that becomes one. Okay. So you will see that even Rabbi Shimon, when he's standing or about to depart, actually he's speaking about this in himself, that all his life he's been tied with one knot, meaning with one intention, which is to do this, the positioning of this altar of incense as tying everything with one knot is to do with the question of the end of the year. Have we connected all the processes that we've been through to one principle? That the principle is that everything is from Him. It doesn't matter how we feel it, how we read it, everything is from Him. Do you have this principle? You are able to enter the Holy of Holiness. This is one obstacle. Okay? And then we will go backwards, and we have the bronze laver, which means it's a place that you wash or you purify yourself. It's sort of it is made out of brass as well, but it is to do with who contributed. Well, the legend, which is very important, it's a whole very deep explanation which is hidden inside the story, which is called the portion of legend. Legend said that actually the structure of sort of what is covering this place of wash, where the mirror that the Israelite ladies, the mirror that they were using in order to look at themselves, to see if they will appeal to their husband above the husband's fear of that whatever the produce will be may not survive, because the edict was all male born should be actually thrown into the Nile. So the purification, the place of purification is made out of looking at yourself, the ability to look at yourself and grow above your fears in order to set yourself in a place that you will be able to purify your intention in order to serve above and beyond your fears and your consideration. Okay? And this is the symbol of it. So this is our two one can say, added processes or added obstacles or added screens that were added inside the tabernacle or the process of ourself. One can say those who wish to fulfill the priesthood or the service, the servitude. And the third things which for Moshe there is no special clothes needed. There's no garment, meaning there is less necessity, which is very, very important for us. There is less necessity of ceremony. Okay. In a way, it's a correction or reformation or rectifying that which happened in Genesis, in Bereshit. So there are two rectifications here. One, that when Adam and Eve were exiled in Bereshit, were exiled from the natural meeting point or the higher inside the same garden, one can say the same arena of happening, same arena of being. Okay, so they were expelled from Garden of Eden, and here the cherubs, in between them, there is those who were put there, the two cherubs, which were put there to guard, so no one can actually enter again the Garden of Eden unless it will be with the preparation of its time, meaning they are all the spirit sort of concluded their consciousness and their tikkun, they are able to come. But here there is sort of a new ability for, at least for the priest, for Moshe, for generation to have the ability to identify the gate from which they can draw this light of reforming themselves in order to enter. So, as I said, what you could hear in between the cherubs is what was natural for Adam and Eve to hear God speaking to himself concerning humanity when he was strolling in a garden. So this is a new given options. So that it's rectifying the expulsion and the not knowing where is the gate. Yeah. So we're coming now to what is another, one can say, way of preparing oneself. It's through the garment. So as I said, Moshe does not need it. There is a naturality about him. So actually here we are starting to rectify a second departure from the natural, being with the higher. The first natural being was that they had garments of light. Yeah, they lost it, and they were given. The first garment that they were given was a garment of the skin, which was given actually to Cain, and then was given or was stolen by Nimrod, and then it was found itself in the family of Jacob, or Isaac and Rivka, and actually Esav was using it. But when Jacob wished to get the blessing of his father, of Isaac, he actually putting on himself this garment. So one can say that the reformation of the garment is happening in the priest, in Aaron, in the way that now we have inside the garment the memory of where is the gate and how to approach the gate from which to know what actually is needed and possible at this time in order to be able to fulfill an opening of the gates for all spirit to come back. Meaning, how do we actually open the gate of the world of Atzilut? How we uplift ourselves and find our way inside it. What is the garments that we need to put on our spirit that will reform her structure or build her in such a way that she can find home back, or she can find her way into the root. Okay, so it seems that the inner tabernacle should be composed of those two. Of, one can say, the round light of being inside something, and the way you draw from it something that is with limitation, but the limitation allow an approach, which is the relationship between the round light and the light of the line. Okay, meaning what was the infinite light of Tzimtzum 1 before, the sense of it, and how actually it structures itself in 3 lines or in 3 states. Okay. So we can see as well that all the garments of Aaron, of the priest, is a composition of statement of service, statement of memory, of all the 12 states of mercy, all the 3 states of that are actually composed in one. So you have 13 measurement of mercy, which actually need to be measured by the need of each tribe or each tendency, and it need to be on what is called ephod. So it is composed together with a permanent question: where is here the gate, the door, for allowing this 13 measurement of light to be exposed and to be revealed and to act upon our reformation. Okay? It's all actually in the colors of it, in the setup of it, with the need of a session of pomegranate and bells at the rim of the garment. So there is a sense of sound as well, of presence, something that is going out, and a pomegranate which is actually keeping in. Okay, it's keeping in all the connection, all mitzvot. It's keeping them together as a new, one can say, a new brain, a new way of thinking. And it's as well, this is why I'm saying that the garment it's a purifier. Yeah, it purifies in a way, the path, because with each step, you're reminded of why you're here, what you're serving, what actually is included in you. Because through what is called the choshen, through the stones, why actually it is need to be with 12 stones. Stone in Hebrew is understanding. It's a way of understanding. It is a way of understanding through Malchut. Because only through Malchut, the last Sphira, only through her can wisdom shine. Like you can sort of extract oil only from an olive, which is as well Malchut. Okay, or they represent Malchut. Okay, so as well, all 12 stones are through which understandings of the higher can it be revealed. The different ways of the action of mercy, which are one, which is choshen of judgment of spirits. So it's 13, and 13 is one. Okay? It means that all the power of reformation go expressively, sort of the conduct or the conduit of it is through the priest. What he's actually wearing or bearing, carrying on his heart. The inclusion of all needs and the need to make peace, as we understand peace as a third line between all the different or all the differentiation that we can have in the light, to bring them together into one principle. So this is part of what it's actually expressing and how we bring it together. So it seems that the priest is wearing the garments of Malchut, which is very much to do with, I suggest that you will read Megillat Esther, the way as well Esther and Mordechai, what kind of, when they are actually activating in themselves, and it is shown that they are able to activate a sort of meeting point between spirit or people's carrying particular spirit and the higher. So whenever they are in their power, they're actually wearing the garments of Malchut. It is explicitly written so. So we're looking at that, and we're looking where from it comes and what it needs to express, what kind of garment are useful to actually remind us. Okay. It means as well not garments in terms of corporal garments. Garments means how much you have a return light that can actually be the type of cover that is suitable for the light to be revealed in it. So garments are not just the outer expression of a ceremony. They are the inner garment of measurement and qualities that we need to acquire in order at all to be able to approach a meeting point with the sacred or with the Holy of Holiness. Okay? Only when we represent others. So a priest means that we are being included in the need not only of ourselves. One can say that our prayer or our service is valuable to the extent that we are inclusive, that our being is inclusive of other people's need.